Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about something incredibly small and unbelievably powerful. Deep in the rainforest of Ecuador lives a frog no bigger than a coin, bright red, electric blue, almost unreal against the green jungle backdrop. This is Epipedobetes anthonii, the Anthony's poison arrow frog. It looks delicate, it looks harmless, but hidden inside its skin is a chemical so potent that for a time scientists believed it could revolutionize medicine. Instead, it may have become one of the most dangerous toxins in modern geopolitics. Its name is Epibatidine, and its story is almost unbelievable. For decades, it was a holy grail for pain research. Today, it's at the center of a global assassination investigation. Let's rewind to 1974. A chemist at the National Institutes of Health, John Daly, traveled to the Ecuadorian Andes. Indigenous communities had long used these frogs to coat their hunting darts. Daly wanted to know why. He collected hundreds of frogs and brought them back to his lab. What he discovered stunned the scientific world. The compound inside their skin relieved pain, not just effectively, but nearly 200 times more powerfully than morphine. And here's what made it extraordinary. It wasn't an opioid. That meant no typical opioid pathway, no standard addiction mechanism, a completely different way of blocking pain. But there was a catch. Daly had less than a milligram of the substance, too little to fully understand its chemical structure. For almost 20 years, the molecule remained a mystery, until advanced nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopic studies in 1992 finally revealed its structure. By then, the frogs were endangered, and the dream of turning this toxin into medicine was slipping away. To understand why epibatidine is so powerful, we need to zoom in on our nervous system. In our nerve and muscle cells are tiny protein gates called nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, the switches that control movement, breathing, heart rate, and even pain signals. Normally, a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine briefly opens these gates. Signal passes through, the gate closes. Everything stays balanced. Epibatidine doesn't just open the gate, it jams it open. At extremely tiny doses, this can silence pain signals in the brain. That's what made researchers so excited. But increase the dose even slightly. Blood pressure spikes, seizures erupt, breathing muscles lock, respiratory paralysis follows. It's like flipping your body's on switch and breaking it off. The difference between relief and death is razor thin. That's why epibatidine was ultimately abandoned as a drug candidate. It was simply too dangerous. So why are we talking about this obscure rainforest toxin today? Because on February 14, 2026, a coalition of European nations announced they had linked epibatidine to the death of Alexei Navalny. Forensic investigators reportedly identified traces of the compound in preserved tissue samples. If accurate, the implications are chilling. These frogs do not live in Russia. Captive frogs don't even produce the toxin. They require a very specific Andean insect diet. Synthesizing epibatidine in the laboratory is highly complex. Its presence would suggest advanced resources. And perhaps most unsettling of all, its effects can resemble sudden respiratory failure. Quiet, difficult to detect, devastatingly effective. What began as a scientific breakthrough became a medical disappointment and may now be part of a geopolitical storm, all because of a frog no larger than a coin. Epibatidine is one of nature's greatest paradoxes, a molecule capable of extraordinary healing yet equally capable of destruction. And it reminds us of something powerful. Nature doesn't create good or evil, it creates chemistry. What we choose to do with it is up to us. I hope you found this story insightful and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends.